Hello, everyone. This is Alyssa Grasso, and you are watching or listening to Awkward Author, my weekly vlog and podcast about all the things that are going on in my sometimes awkward author life. And what is going on this week? Not too much here. As far as writing goes, I have been working on hammering out the outline for the next book I'm going to be writing. Not sure if it'll be the next book I'm releasing as these things go, because this is going to be the first book in what I'm planning as a three-book series. And as I've said in previous videos, I would like to, have those released, one right after the other, which means they all have to be written before I can do that. So, I'm going to be working on that. I may, in the meantime, release, one or two other books before I actually release that whole series. But I do at least want to get started working on the series. So I have been working on an outline for that. I had, previously written a little bit on it. I wrote a little bit more this week. I actually wrote the first chapter this week, and I know you think, well, you write the first chapter first. How come you're writing that now? But I don't always work in a linear fashion like that, which is, it's just me. It's just my, way of writing. And I already knew, what I wanted the first chapter to be, but, basically. It was for me. There was other stuff I wanted to get down first. The first chapter, it's interesting and exciting, but it was I already kind of had that figured out in my head. So I wanted to get some other stuff out as they were coming to me. And I still have quite a bit of writing to go on it, and I'm still not done with the outline. I do like to have that outline in place before. I can get started writing because there's stuff that I've drafted out in the outline, which I could get started on those chapters as I work on, outlining the rest of the chapters. And what, does my outline look like? It's pretty much, I go chapter by chapter, kind of a summary of what happens, how it, connects to the overall, storyline, the character arc, whatever. And also, how it's going to lead to, the stuff that happens next. So to make sure I'm not, writing garbage in there that, has no bearing on the story or anything like that, doesn't fit with the plot. And just for me, have an idea, a roadmap of where things are going. So there are different schools of thoughts on outlines. Some people believe wholeheartedly in them. Some people say, they can't write with an outline. You have to do what works for you. That's, the one thing I have found. So I've tried writing without outlines before. And for me, I end up getting stuck when this happens. I end up reaching a point where I'm not quite sure what happens next. I'm, second guessing myself, and I wouldn't say it's writer's block, but it kind of feels like that. So that's what happens when I try to write without an outline. The other thing that happens when I try to write without an outline is I end up wasting a lot of time, because I end up writing a lot of stuff that's going to get deleted, or I end up writing stuff that I have to go back and fix later because it doesn't quite fit with the way things, go in the story as far as the plot or what happens with, different characters or things like that. So if I can get all that straightened out in the outline, it can save me so much time later, because otherwise you're going back and fixing things, and it's a little bit more work. It's a little bit more tedious than just, being able to write and get the main points right the first time, in the first draft. Obviously, there'll still be a lot of changes that need to be made to the first draft, but hopefully the major, plot points and stuff that are, pretty crucial to a story are all okay in that draft. So that's how, that's why, I guess I should say, outlines are, to me, a must. And so I'm getting there. I'm not quite done with that outline, but I will be soon, and I can really, dive in wholeheartedly on writing that book, and also figure out maybe what else I'm going to work on next, because I have a few different ideas, and it's a matter of figuring out which one I really want to put through next, I guess. The other thing on my agenda this week, really today, is to kind of look at the ads that I've been running. I'm not gonna say I'm paused with ads, but I'm at a point where it's a good time to kind of take a look back at the ads I was running for Girl Most Likely to Succeed, kind of analyze them, see what different targets worked best, see, overall what worked what different graphics work best, and kind of use that to figure out my strategy going forward with, the next set of ads that I'll be running. Still right now, just really running BookBub ads, got an AMS ad going. Have not done any Facebook advertising yet for this book, other than a giveaway I have going that is only sort of related to the book, not really. And so I want to kind of figure out what my next series of ads are going to be and how they're going to work. And the other thing I'm going to do, I've still had the book priced at my $1.99 promotional price with the new release special price, which it's hard to make money on that when you're paying for your advertising. But I did want to kind of do that to just kind of kickstart the sales and, see if I can move books at that price. And then we'll see if I can move books at the $3.99 prices, which is what I'm going to be putting it up to. If you're watching this on Wednesday, the day that I release this video, then you're watching on the last day, the last full day of the $3.99 or the $1.99 promotional price. Tomorrow, price goes up to $3.99. So if you've been waiting, now would be a good time to buy a copy, but an ebook copy. But yeah, so it's been an experiment, and now I got to kind of sit down and take a look at the numbers and see how that experiment went. So I think it was like the end of last week. There was a bit of a kerfuffle, I guess you could say, on Twitter. I'm not going to get into naming names and stuff, but there was an author who said something she probably regretted, but she was quoting, I guess, a reader or something, a fan who said that they were going to, borrow her book from the library. And she kind of was like, don't tell an author that you're going to borrow their book from the library or something. It's not what an author wants to hear or something like that, which of course led to a wave of authors saying, yeah, no, we like to hear that. That's good. Borrow our books from libraries, request our books at libraries. We love libraries, kind of thing. And, I guess this is something there's different schools of thought on too, but as an author and as someone who has worked in libraries, who has worked for a book distributor that sold to libraries, libraries are huge buyers of books. One of the biggest, if you want to look like, at the book market, libraries make up a huge part of the book market. So to kind of diss libraries like that is a little bit misguided as an author. So, you want your books in libraries. And I guess, if you're a best-selling author, your books are going to be in libraries. If you're not a best-selling author, though, there's no guarantee that your book is going to be in libraries. And so, you would love it if a library bought your book. And so I guess that's kind of part of the reason there's such a disparity, because I think best-selling authors just take it for granted that libraries will always buy their books. For other authors, that is not a guarantee, and they can't take that for granted. So, they really do appreciate every single sale, including sales from libraries. Even though, the people that are borrowing the books from libraries are not paying to read the book, chances are they wouldn't have bought a copy anyway. I mean, the way you have to look at it is that people that use libraries are using them probably because they don't have money to buy every single new book that comes out there, or they just don't spend money on books. They are not people that are going to spend money on books, but they still are part of your audience. And if they're your fans, and they're library users, they're going to request your books at libraries, which is going to lead to library sales. So I like libraries. If libraries want to buy my book, I'm happy. If you want to borrow my book from the library, I'm very happy. Please, ask your, request my book at libraries. That's fine by me. So, that's a way to look at the library thing. I think it's also a way to look at the book piracy thing, because I think I just got another notice. I get them all the time with Google, alert that, one of my books is on a piracy site. And it's frustrating and it's annoying, but at the same time, I feel like I'm not losing a ton of sales because of that, because my core audience is not people that are illegally downloading books for free. That's, I can't look at that as my core audience. My core audience is people who, like books, like authors, like to do things legally, and will, pay to borrow or pay to read your book, in one form or another. or we'll do it through legal channels, like using their library card and borrowing it from their library, which, you know, can still lead to book sales for authors. So that's that's my little 2 cents on the libraries and authors argument there. So I'm going to wrap this up this week. I do have some ads to analyze, and I have some outlines to work on, well, an outline to work on. But I do thank you guys for watching and listening. I put out these new videos every week about my awkward author life. I'm also going to be putting out some tips and tricks videos soon, so look for those. That'll be in addition to these videos. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel. If you would like to learn more about me, you can check out my website, which is alyssagrosso.com, ALISSAGROSSO.com. If you go there and submit your email address to sign up for my newsletter, I'll send you a free copy of my thriller novella in the bag. So thanks, guys. I'll see you all again soon. Keep it awkward.